All right, guys. First, with Cartavius Norton, they took him to TGH, precautionary. Just wanted to make sure everything was good. They say he's doing all right, so we'll head over there and make sure he's in a good spot. Obviously, praying that nothing terrible, and we'll continue to think about him. That's probably why the somber mood. For us, you never want to see that, and as a dad and certainly as his coach, it's an eerie deal. But praying that everything is all right, and God's hands are all over him. So the game, I got so much respect for Coach Albin and a bunch of guys on his staff. So it was certainly hard fought in every way. I told him we've been there in year one, and the biggest compliment you can get is that your kids play really hard, and their kids play really, really hard. So he'll get it going, and they got the right guy for the job there. It's obviously a lot to fix, and I've been there and I've done that. For us, the game itself, you talk about a defensive effort to start. The first 8 drives, 6 3 and outs, an interception. 13 yards total. You have an opportunity as an offense, and started off, you're up 26-0. You gotta go put a team away, and that's what I told our guys in there. Elite teams put teams away when they have an opportunity to put them away, and I thought it was some really, really good offensively. I thought the start was intentional. I thought the start was for us an attempt to go put it away early. I thought from a fundamental standpoint, I thought it was really, really poor in a lot of ways. A lot of drop balls to put balls on the ground. Interceptions happen. It's not what you want, but interceptions happen. I think fumbles are totally preventable, and I was really disappointed, certainly in the ball being on the ground, and some of our best players. And you can justify it however you want, but I think if you justify it, you're making excuses, and that's the fastest way to get beat. I'm sure it'll get asked, but the reason why we went at the end there and tried to punch the ball in the end zone is because I wanted to make a point that we're going to go finish. And it's not a point to anybody outside our locker room, truly a point that we're going to go finish. And I was really, really impressed with the defense all the way through. And then I was really disappointed. And there was a lot of guys that hadn't played a ton on that last drive defensively. But what I told the guys in the locker room is if we put you in the game, it's because we trust you and we think you've earned the right to play. And I was really disappointed just at some gash runs. And that can't be who you are. Elite teams, no matter who's in there, go and finish. And I was really disappointed in that part of it. Not disappointed in any individual efforts, more so just the mentality into it. And I talked to the team just now, and there's a somber feel because of Cartavius, but there's a point in your preparation where you get to a level of confidence that you have to go into a game. And I thought we were incredibly confident going into the game. I thought through the bye week, through the week of prep, we were incredibly confident. There's a level of confidence you have to go compete at an elite level in this game. I think there's a threshold you cross when you get into a level of arrogance that you start to miss details. And that's a challenge to our guys. That's a challenge to our coaches. It's a challenge to myself that you never cross that threshold. And elite teams don't gauge the opponent. They prepare the same exact way every single week, no matter the opponent. You don't get up or down. And I think when you're learning how to win and you're learning how to handle success, it goes back to being process-driven. And what I felt in the second quarter of that game was a level of whether you call it arrogance or a lack of detail that elite teams don't have. So for us right now, as we go back, and I don't want to take away from being 1-0 in the conference, because that's all you can be, and that's the best you can be. But there's a level of detail that we didn't play with tonight, specifically offensively, certainly at times on special teams. The penalties would resemble that, and you absolutely can't do that and go and beat really good football teams. So a humbling moment. We're going to coach it really, really hard. We're going to hold our coaches accountable at an elite level. We're going to hold our players accountable at an elite level. And we're going to go right back to work as we get ready now in a normal game week to go play a really good North Texas team next Friday night. Again, on national TV, and an opportunity to show the country what our identity really is. So that's where we are. Questions?
What is Cartavius dealing with? Alex neck, head? What did he hurt?
Yeah. I don't know if I need to say it, but it was precautionary for obviously a neck deal.
What does he mean to the program?
C5? Well, one, he's had an incredible journey to get to this point to where he's earned the right to be an every down back for us. He's an incredible young guy, and a bunch of our coaches knew him when he went into the portal from the Iowa State days, and he's played a ton of football. He's grown into a leader. He's a tough, resilient young guy, and he'll be just fine.
You kind of mentioned you had good 2 weeks of practice, a lot of drops, a lot of mental errors. Is that kind of how you practice leading into this game, or is this kind of out of character, maybe stretching into that arrogance as you were kind of alluding to?
Yeah, I don't know that there was a lot of mental errors, to be honest with you, but I thought a lot of focus plays that weren't made. That's where the drops come in. That's where some of the pre-snap penalty stuff comes in. I don't think there was a bunch of mental errors. I think that there was a lot of focus things, and you tend to lose focus when you don't when you aren't mentally as prepared as you need to be.
Alex Jeremiah, his first career catch, results in 6 points. How'd you feel about his effort overall tonight?
Yeah, Jeremiah's a young guy that just continues to get better. We've been excited about him, obviously, since we signed him and through the spring. He's one, uber talented, but two, has matured at a really, really high rate. Comes from a great high school program, has played at an elite level, big-time basketball players played. He's just a competitor. He's got a lot to work on, physically got to grow up. Emotionally, he's ready for those moments. That's what's kind of neat. When you recruit guys that are from really good high school programs, that are elite competitors and have a mental makeup like that, they tend to be ready really quickly. And he's continued, as we've played him more and more, started out on special teams, a little bit on offense. As we've played him more and more, he continues to flash. So he's going to continue to earn time.
What did you think of Byram's night? He had a career high rushing. Did the game just dictate that he run it as much as he did?
Yeah, we had really two designed runs going into the game for him, and they were really effective early. He created some. There was a couple third downs where he created on his own. There was some that were forced in the second half in terms of just his read took him to pulling the football. Byram is one of the best runners of the football at the quarterback position that I've ever been around. There's athletic quarterbacks. There's quarterbacks that are mobile. B is a high end runner of the football. He'll tell you he's going to want the fumble back, especially because it was in deep territory there. But his competitive nature, he's learning slowly how to protect himself. He's learning how to get down at times. But you could see, like, when he's got this knack for when he doesn't feel like the momentum is going our way, he's going to put his shoulder down and try to ignite it that way. And he's done that several times this year, but over his career, he's a special carrier of the football, like dynamic with it. And we're going to need him to continue to be that way. And it dictated that way. You saw in the second half, there were so many single high pictures where if you were going to run the ball, it had to be, you had to get the extra hat in there. And I thought at times we threw the ball extremely well, and then I thought at times we couldn't throw it simply because of the drop coverage, and you were kind of having to force some things in there. So that's kind of where the game dictated it to be. I guess I didn't realize the number was 162. That's a lot. It's good for anybody.
And you'd mentioned, you got North Texas in a normal week, national TV again, an undefeated team. What do you need to see this week? Is it attention to detail? What do you need to do to prepare to compete in this game coming up?
Yeah, I think no different than any other week in the sense that our process has got to be elite. You earn the right to be confident through a week of elite preparation. I think similar to last week, fundamentally we got to get better. I think a level of focus, maybe a heightened awareness, which again, when you're process-based, it shouldn't be that way. But I think there were some humbling moments for some guys in terms of some things that may become weren't easy tonight, and it'll be really good. You certainly would love to coach those things in a win, and fortunately for us, we get to do that.
How do you feel about Nakai Davenport's play tonight?
Every time he's gotten an opportunity to carry the football, he's showing that he's deserving to carry it more. Downhill, he had an incredible clip and pass protection on the catch by Jeremiah up the right side there that led to a touchdown. Sometimes I got to remind myself that, he's not really, he's a redshirt freshman, but he doesn't carry the ball like a young guy. He doesn't protect like a young guy. It's a little bit of a crowded room in the sense that you're trying to give guys opportunities to go. And I thought he stepped up. I thought Sam Franklin the last 2 weeks is really coming into his own. I think Cartavius is playing really good football. Alvon Isaac has continued to get better. And it's exciting when guys like Vaughn and Nakai, who are young, but are continuing to create big moments for themselves. But I'm really impressed with Nakai up to this point, and he missed most of his freshman year. He was banged up, so this is really his first opportunity to go compete. But he continues, and he missed some of camp with an injury, and he continues when he gets opportunities. He continues to impress, and ultimately he's earning the right to play more and more.
Are you confident you can clean this up? Is this team mature enough to where, the turnovers tonight were kind of an aberration? You feel confident in the maturity of this team that they can clean this up?
Yeah, Joey, I think the maturity of the team is what gives me the confidence that we will clean it up. I think humbling moments like that are either going to build us up or they're going to allow you to lose confidence. I challenged the leadership, and I grabbed a handful of guys one by one that I need them to carry the message, man. And the message is simple. Go right back to our process. Allow yourself to get coached. Humble yourself to allow your teammates to hold you accountable. I've got all the confidence in the world. Joey, I love this team, man. It's a bunch of guys that have come up the rough side of the mountain. It's a bunch of guys that have been through the really, really hard, through the really, really crappy part of college football, and they're going to continue to earn the right to play at a high level as long as they allow us to coach them and as long as they hold each other accountable. And on elite football teams, that's what happens, and we'll find out if we're there. I still think we're in this building phase of learning and growing and learning and growing, and we're certainly fortunate to be on the right side of it, because if you're playing a high-end football team and you put the ball on the ground and the defense gives you opportunities like they do in the first half and you don't put a team away, it's going to cost you. And I think our guys are definitely mature enough to understand it. More concerning would be if the young guys don't learn from the old guys. As you build, you need the message to carry on throughout your entire program.
One thing, played a lot of football over the last couple of years, no longer on the roster. Is that a mutual decision? Is there a way for him to get back on the team, or is he just kind of done?
Yeah, so Kawan, not on the team. I love Kawan. I've loved coaching Kiwi. I've loved being a part of his journey. I think he's a really good football player. I think he's a great young man. I really do. He in his own journey thought he needed another year. He didn't redshirt. He had a redshirt year, and we sat down, talked through it, and he mulled over it. And certainly not the decision I wanted. Certainly not the decision I think our team wanted, but he felt like that was best for him. And if we're really in it for the best of these young guys, I support him. Again, it doesn't help our team, but he felt like it was going to help him in his journey and help him achieve his goals and dreams, which I'm going to stand up here and tell you every time. I'm all about guys chasing their goals and dreams. We do it as coaches. He certainly wants to do it for what he thinks is going to be best for his journey. I reiterate, I do love the young guy. I do love what he's about. But at this point, he made a decision that he wants to take the year, and I'm going to support him through it. But you can't be around our team right now where we're headed, where we're going. There's too many guys that are willing to lay it on the line every single day. And if you're not, I'm good. And I've told our team all along, tell our staff every day, there's not one person that's going to make or break this team, and there's nobody bigger than this program, including myself. So you're in, you're in. If you're not, you're not. And I got nothing but love for him and certainly rooting for his journey.
I guess the lighter note, I think Evan Dangler, first catch, first career touchdown as well. He's been through quite a bit as well. What can you say about what he's met as the tight end room has kind of grown into themselves?
Yeah, Evan, his role's probably diminished a little bit offensively as some guys have stepped up. He's a grinder. He's a worker. He's everything that's right about college football. Came in here as a D lineman, was a walk-on. We moved him to tight end. He saved our butt many, many, many times a year ago. He's tough, gritty, smart, like everything you want. He's become an incredible teammate, become a really, really good special teams player for us. We've had some package stuff with him in, but everything that's right about college football. Has earned a scholarship, has earned an opportunity to go compete at a high level. It was certainly really cool to watch him catch one today.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Go Bulls.
Any questions for Cole?
Cole, how important was it for you guys after losing Martavis to go in and make that score for him?
It was everything, It's hard watching a guy, especially a guy that we all love, we all depend on, go down. I think one of the coolest things was how we came up with Rev, David Lane, and kind of all just, got into a huddle, said a prayer for him. It's not what anyone wants, but at that point, I think everyone's mindset was the same. Was, man, we're gonna go do this for him. We're gonna finish it the right way for him. So to go and get in the end zone after that was awesome.
I'm sure you heard, coach's comments about, missing details tonight. And there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. What do you attribute the sloppiness to tonight?
Right. I think, always attribute a little bit of it maybe to the bye week, coming off of that. Really, like, as a leader on this team, I'm very guarded and vigilant every day of making sure it looks like what it needs to look like. Guys are acting the way that they need to act, both on the field and off the field. And I didn't sense a whole lot of, arrogance around the locker room or looseness leading up to the week. I thought our process was very intentional. I thought we had a great week of practice, had an amazing plan coming into this game. I think at the end of the day, even the best players are going to make mistakes, and it can't happen. Our job as players, our job as leaders, is to limit those plays as much as we can. So I got to go back. I got to watch the tape. I really got to dig into, why it looked the way that it did at times. But I'm really proud of our guys, and specifically the offensive line, of how even when it wasn't pretty, we just kept swinging and kept swinging. And, there was a time in that game where we kind of stalled out on offense and we weren't putting points up on the board, and to see us kind of come back and finish it the right way and then watch the next group of the offensive line come in that last drive and march down the field. Again, just keep swinging and finish. That's everything you want. So as leaders, we got to come together. We got to figure out, why was there sloppiness that we haven't seen up until this point, and address it with the team. We all love each other, and that's the ability to tell each other the truth. So we got to address it as leaders, and guys got to buy in, and we got to make sure that doesn't happen again going forward.
Is that the weirdest, 600 yards of offense, 400 yards rushing, 54 points, weirdest offensive outing you've had maybe ever?
In my career, yeah, it was, thought we threw the ball around a lot. We were definitely, most certainly ran the ball a lot. There was a ton of plays. I'm not sure if I've ever played that many snaps in a single game in my whole career. So yeah, it's a little bit crazy to think about, but man, really just proud of how we finished.
You got Derek Bowman back at left tackle this week. You kind of settled in, and then Zane goes out for a little bit. Cole comes back in. What has it been like to get kind of your left tackle back, get Zane back where he's supposed to be? Mm-hmm. What was the offensive line like the last couple of weeks?
Well, first of all, I thought Zane did an incredible job stepping up into that left tackle role through those first couple of games. There wasn't a drop off that anyone sensed. He didn't blink. He just went in and did his job, and I thought he did a great job. But obviously, Derek Bowman, he's a huge part of our offensive line, both as a player and as a leader. And I thought he did a great job even while he was out, continuing to be a leader. It didn't feel like he wasn't there. He did a great job, but to have him back, it just put a smile on my face. I know it put a smile on a lot of other guys' faces. I asked him after the game, did you have fun? How was it? And he loves football. He's, just a great guy, works super hard. And so to have him back and, provide a little more depth in the room, I think is awesome, especially going into conference play. And Cole Skinner as well has done a great job stepping up at both the right side and the left side. And, we just got a bunch of grinders in our room. Feels good, best you can ask for.
Especially in the first half when you're rattling off the plays at a furious pace, when the officials have to blow a play dead because they said they're not in place, right? That's kind of the ultimate, that you got the pace you want, right?
Correct. Yes, sir. It's awesome. It's our identity. It's our offense. We push the tempo, and we play fast, and I thought we did a great job of that tonight.
Back and kind of run around for a little bit. What goes into blocking when a quarterback can extend plays like Byron can?
Man, what goes? So for us, having a quarterback like Byram, it's exciting. He can do pretty much anything. He can run the ball. He can throw the ball. The guy just refuses to get sacked. He refuses to be touched. And so, our goal is to never let anybody touch the quarterback, never let anybody even near him. But just human error, sometimes it's not going to go the way you want, and so for him to kind of escape, get out of those situations, we definitely appreciate it. And there's no better feeling than which happened tonight, when your quarterback comes over to the O-line on the bench and says, man, I got all the time in the world, y'all just keep doing your thing. It's a pretty cool feeling. It's pretty rewarding, because that's everything we do is for him and for that position. It's our pride, it's our joy. Protect him.
Quick start offensively tonight, 23 points in the first quarter. I know in your previous couple of games, you kind of struggled getting out of the gate, the first quarter, getting that rhythm going. What do you think the difference was tonight, that you were able to come out and get 23 on the board in the first quarter versus the previous weeks when you kind of struggled to get going offensively?
Right. I think it was the huge emphasis that leaders on the team and coaches have put in, to start fast. And it's been every week since week 1, opening up against Boise State. Didn't start fast, took a while to get the offense going. And so really from there, we've hammered every single day, all around the team, all around the locker room, man, start fast. Thought we had a great game plan put together for drive starters. And also, in practice, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we do this thing called first quarter. And nobody knows about it. You go into Indy, in the first couple minutes of practice, and the whistle blows, and you go straight into a good-on-good offense versus defense, put the ball down live, kind of scrimmage deal, if you will. And it really, opens your eyes a little bit like, man, maybe I wasn't quite as ready as I thought it was, to go start when I'm already tired. So I think it's the emphasis that we've put on it. I think collectively as leaders on the team kind of demanding it, and just a mentality going in there that we're going to start fast. Sir, thank you guys.
Defensive tackle Devin Lee, the defensive line with 5 tackles, tackle for loss. North Charlotte 7 first downs tonight. Questions for Devin?
What has the influx of, you're one of the transfer talent, especially in the middle of that defensive line, what have you seen the growth of that room and then the guys maybe behind you that were already in the program?
Yeah, so with the transfers and everything, I think the biggest asset to us is our experience. Like, every transfer who came in is like a grad or in their final year, and they played a lot of ball, so that experience is good for us playing against somebody and showing the younger guys, like, this is how you do stuff, this is what you should think, what you should look at. So, yeah, it's good.
Kind of coming from a program where things weren't great, just like at USF.
Yeah.
Last year kind of turned around for them. Now this year, you being one of the leaders on that defense, what experience can you take from Vanderbilt that kind of can help push this program to the next level, and kind of even after kind of the wonkiness of tonight, you still kind of control the game for the most part?
Yeah, I think one of my biggest takeaways is just stay on your track. You can't look at the outside noise. You can't take in any of the good or the bad. You just got to stay locked in on the main goal, which is going 1-0 every week. So, yeah, just keeping the main thing the main thing.
Find your footing a little bit when you need to change a quarterback. What did he bring to their offense that perhaps was not working with the starting quarterback?
Yeah, they did get a little bit after that halftime, but I think it was mainly us just not being in the right spot at the right time, a little confusion, but I don't think there's much of a skill gap between the two. So, yeah.
What the coach said about cleaning some things up.
Right.
Is that what you were talking about, being out of position and stuff like that you want to straighten out this
Exactly.
week?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'll have a good night. Get out of here before midnight.
Thanks, Brian.
Brian, you're
Tuesday.
the boss on a Zoom call. Well, I'll give you your 8 minutes back.
Picture I took at the Passive Grill some years ago, and I used to go there. I was nervous. I still ask me questions.